Checkered flag wave for Jason Luberg as he takes the first race of the 2016 season. Bilko inside. Can he get Skibo? He does! She's on the throttle and maybe a little too much. Sarah Price, checkered flag and another win.
Whoa!
Oh, the inside goes Luberg.
Cody Raiders with nowhere to go gets passed by Luberg.
Raiders trying to drive it in.
Oh, and Luberg throws it away. Another day out here at HayDays. We got a lot more racing action on tap.
We're an hour north of the Twin Cities in North Branch, Minnesota. The smell of fresh cheese curds and exhaust fumes, well, it can only mean one thing. It's HayDays in the Mystic Terracross Championships. Hey everybody, Kevin Barnett. I'm joined by trophy truck racer Jim Beaver. And today we wrap things up here at HayDays with some racing as well as a special event for the HayDays crowd. But first, let's talk about the ladies.
Today, the women's pro class is as competitive as ever with Action Sports royalty Jolene Van Vught and Walker Evans Racing Shelby Anderson. But today, they'll need to bring their A game to beat the 2015 overall champion and current points leader, Sarah Price. She's been putting on a Terracross clinic so far.
And later on today, it's the innovative Terracross Shootout.
The racers asked for it, and they got it. The winning racers from each division get together for a shootout race. It's the women versus the men, and right now, I think the ladies have the advantage.
Looking forward to that, as well as a special, spectacular event from Levi LaValle later in the show. For now, the Fly Racing Pro Women's class is on the line, but let's look back at the first ever Mystic Shootout history made.
Yeah, the men versus the women versus celebrities, years in the making. Looks like the men ended up getting the better of the women in the first shootout, but we got another one coming at us.
You know Sarah Price wanted a piece of the guys, and she had it early, but then things would go a little sideways.
Oh! And up and over, that is Sarah Price. You don't see that very often. Sarah making a mistake. I don't think I've ever said that before. Love tap from Hailie Deegan. Boom, puts Hubert. And then she goes down backwards. Hubert on his lid.
Hubert Rowland needing a little bit of help. Get out of the way.
Oh, Jolene Van Vught. Oh, look at that. Up, over, back on two wheels. That was like a, I don't know what you'd even call that, like a freestyle move of some sort. Whoa, Brian Deegan up and over down the side of the Fox Proving Ground.
Going over. That was Sarah Price giving him a little bit extra help. Checkers have flown, and again, the number one of Luberg, proving he is fastest of them all. Luberg with the win. Jolene Van Vught tops for the women.
I just wanted to have fun and race with a large group of awesome, talented people. This is the deepest field that I've competed in Terracross. I've only raced the women's class so far, so this is the first time competing against men. And I just thought it was really cool that they were able to mix this all up together. I had no idea where I was or no idea what I was doing. I just was trying to get out there, be amongst the chaos, keep it on two wheels, and finish the race.
First time it happened, it's going to happen again today. Looking forward to seeing all those athletes match up. It is the Fly Racing Pro Women's class. Shelby Anderson, she is pushing towards the front.
Shelby Anderson, she has been so fast the last year and a half. She's been doing her homework, and she has Sarah Price in her sights. Right there, we've got Jamie Luberg, former champ, missing a year, coming back, and Jamie wants to retain that title.
Highly talented field, also 15-year-old Hailie Deegan, the dirt princess who is in a variety of different race situations lately in the Odyssey Batteries ride. Next to her, the 91 of Sarah Price, BitTorrent Team UFD Razor 1000, and last season, she was perfect.
So last year, you know, Shelby Anderson was always right there on my tail, so I have to watch out for her. I know she has a lot of time in a Polaris. She's one of my good friends, so I'm looking forward to racing with her. It's always a good time. Jolie, she's amazing. She's an incredible athlete. You know, she's been putting in work as well and training and practicing, so she's going to be a top competitor. Then we also have Hailie Deegan. She's preparing for NASCAR right now, so you know she has nothing but seat time, and She's a trophy cart champion, so it's going to be a stacked field. It's going to be good racing in the top spot in the women's class. You know, I'm looking just to have a good time out here. Terracross is just where the fun's at, and it's always a good time racing with good people.
There is the aforementioned Jolene Van Vught, finally getting a lot of seat time in a Razor XP 1000.
Yeah, she's been doing her homework this offseason, putting in the time there at Travis Pastrana's Pastrana Land, burning in laps. She's going to be tough to beat.
The Fly Racing track flyover has you going one lap at HayDays.
Big step down to kick things off, followed into the Fox Proving Grounds. Hard corner, and then you've got the Mystic Mangler. Dug out another 10 feet from last year. Gnarly carnage happening there in the Mystic Mangler. Got a couple of tabletops, and that leads you into the Walker Evans whoops. K-rails, tires, chaos, carnage, all mixed in. And then a split lane, 180-degree corner, followed into the double-triple to finish off a lap.
A lot of moves made over that double triple heading into that left-hand turn as we look at our Optimus starters starting grid for the Fly Racing Pro Women's class.
Shelby Anderson on the front row, gonna be tough. She gets that hole shot, could be game over for the rest of the field.
For all the talk about the racers we watched last year, it is a racer from 2 years ago, Jamie Luberg, who sits on the pole.
Jamie Luberg, the 2014 champ. She's got a title under her belt. Sarah Price got a title under their belt. Which woman's going to be the first to ever take 2 championships? Or are we going to have a new champ in 2016? We'll soon find out.
Things are underway. Fly Racing Pro Women's class. Up the inside goes Luberg. Van Vught makes it through the first turn clean.
Airing it out, Sarah Price going into the Fox Proving Grounds.
999 Optics on board with Sarah Price, the reigning champ. Mystic Mangler, first time.
Oh, a little bumping and banging there. Oh, up and over. Backflip, Haley Deegan. Look at her, she stands on the gas, never misses a beat.
Odyssey Batteries, Haley Deegan. Turns out freestyle is in the blood.
Man, dad backflipping motorcycles, Haley Deegan backflipping razors. Doesn't get much better than that. Here we are in the Walker Evans whoops, letting this carnage sort itself out.
Take a look back here. Whose fault is this? How does this even happen?
Looks like Jamie Luberg checked up, causing Sarah and Jolene to get into her, and Haley had nowhere to go except into the back of them. She was the wrong place, wrong time, and it was backflip time.
Razor XP 1000 not phased. Right back on and right back up, taking some air off the Mystic Mangler. Meantime, up front, Shelby Anderson in the 5.
This is a dangerous spot for the rest of the women's field. Shelby Anderson, that clean air out front. She's going to be tough to run down.
E3 spark plugs on board now, this time Jolene Van Vught, who is in perhaps her best starting position of her career in Terracross. Second place.
Jolene, man, she has been putting in the work this offseason, and she is definitely running down Shelby Anderson.
2.5 seconds back, Van Vught looking to make a move. The Fly Racing Pro Women's class underway. This is 2016 Terracross.
The 2016 Terracross Championship on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Polaris Razor. By Mystic Lubricants, the official racing lubricant of Terracross. Learn more at mysticlubes.com. And by Sedona Tire.
Mystic Terracross Championship and Levi LaValle Spectacular from North Branch, Minnesota. The fans being treated to a whole weekend of racing and being treated to the Fly Racing Pro Women's class right now. Up front, still looking for her first win is Shelby Anderson, and chasing her is the champ, Sarah Price.
Looks like Shelby Anderson extending her lead over Jolene Van Vught, almost 3.5 seconds. Oh, we got one up and over, and that is Jolene Van Vught again. Not where Jolene wants to be.
And Jolene's gone upside down in that same corner before. This time it is all by herself. What happens here, Jim?
Looks like she just came in, hooked a rut, and she turned into it. It wasn't enough, and the car just nice, slow roll over there. And, you know, as a driver, you feel that happening, and you're already shaking your head. Oh, man. You can just tell her, oh, she's just like,
dirt sample upcoming.
Yeah, not where you want to be. Like you said, it was all her fault. Man, but Shelby Anderson out front, look at her checking out on the field at this point. It's, I don't know, dare I say, phoning it in?
Halfway home for Anderson, now with Price in the rearview mirror, but 5 seconds back. Jamie Luberg behind her. K-Rail, no problem. What can BitTorrent Team UFD's Sarah Price do to close that gap?
Sarah's going to be pushing it. She's going to be hitting her marks. And it looks like Shelby, if you watch her, she's let up just a hair. A very smart racer. Knows there's a big gap there back to second place. She's not going to push the car so she breaks it. So there is a little bit of opening for Sarah to make up time.
Good to see her letting up just a little bit after that incident at Glen Helen where she got on all of the throttle.
Yeah, Shelby Anderson making a viral video there at Glen Helen by mistake, getting her bell rung just a bit, but you wouldn't be able to tell it by the way she's driving out here today.
Perfect lines and race pace up front for the number 5. Shelby Anderson looking for her first win. Sarah Price looking for another.
Looks like a couple laps to go. Shelby still retaining that gap over Sarah Price. See the mud starting to build on Sarah Price's shield just a little bit. Got those tear-offs there.
Jim, usually Sarah Price is up front. Now it's Shelby Anderson who is the leader. What's different about being a leader versus being the chaser?
Well, Shelby Anderson right now with Sarah Price in her rear view mirror. It's a tough situation for Shelby. She doesn't want to make a mistake. A lot of pressure. Sarah 7 for 7, knows how to win, and Shelby really wants that victory, just adding the pressure that they're friends. It's just it's a tough situation for Shelby. She's just trying to hold it all together right now. And look at Sarah making up this gap, massive gap, and now it's narrowed down to just 1 or 2 car lengths.
Anderson holds it together through the Walker Evans whoops. 5-second lead is gone. Sarah Price round the outside into the double.
Look at that, all over the rear of Shelby Anderson. Shelby with a chance to be the first woman in almost a year and a half to take a victory from Sarah Price. Sarah 7 for 7. Shelby like nothing more than to notch her very first ever Terracross victory and break Sarah's streak.
For 7 races, it's been the same story. Sarah Price up front. All of a sudden, new history about to be written. We are 2 laps away from a win by Shelby Anderson. Can she bring it home? Mystic Terracross Championship, Levi LaValle Spectacular has been nothing short of spectacular so far. Freestyle getting into the racing.
Yeah, I didn't realize we were signing up for a freestyle show out here at HayDays, but the fans have definitely been amped with this action on track.
The action on track right now is fast and furious at the front. Shelby Anderson trying to take home her first ever Terracross Fly Pro Women's Class victory. The Walker Evans whoops proven tough once again. Sarah Price, Triple Line Optics on board, chasing.
Sarah Price, she's going to make Shelby earn this victory if she's going to break that streak. Look at Sarah Price air it out, getting every bit of that double, triple. Man, 1 lap to go. Sarah may actually do this thing. Look at her outside to Shelby inside. Shelby just trying to slam the door, but Sarah having nothing to do with it.
Pedal to the floor. The 78 of Sarah Price, the champion. Team UFD Razor XP 1000. Using those outside lines. Here it comes again. 1 lap to go. White flag waves. All right, Jim, these 2 are friends. Do you get a little dirty with your bestie?
Sarah may put a little bit of bumper on Shelby before this thing's over. Shelby right now, she is looking in that rearview mirror. No spotters in Terracross, so Shelby having to work double time looking in front of her and behind her with Sarah Price hot on her heels.
Oh, taking the line is Anderson.
Shelby slamming the door on Sarah Price. Sarah tucking inside, Shelby having nothing to do with it. That door officially shut for Sarah Price.
Fox Proving Grounds, Mystic Mangler yet to go. Here they are. Fox Proving Grounds outside, Sarah Price.
Wow, going into this Mangler, man, it's showtime. Look at Sarah. Look at Shelby.
Shelby stomps it. Right-hand turn, upcoming finish line outside. Sarah Price with the win.
Man, oh man, Sarah Price. What did she do that in the last 5 feet? Wow, staying perfect.
The long way around is good for the 78 and Team UFD Sarah Price. 8 for 8.
Heartbreaker for Shelby Anderson. Almost leading that wire to wire.
The Mangler getting into the action once again. What about this inside line?
Looks like Shelby just got a little too high off of the mangler, and Sarah was already on the ground putting the power down, getting traction, while Shelby was still airborne, was able to slingshot Sarah past Shelby.
Airing it out is nice, but rubber and dirt, put them together, it'll push you forward to the win, as it does. Sarah Price, victorious once again.
8 for 8. Sarah Price remains undefeated the past 2 seasons, proving why she is the best in the business.
So much talk about how the fly racing pro women's class is stacked. That is proving to be the case. Good start from Jolene Van Vught, who would tip over and fall back. Shelby Anderson and Sarah Price made it a 2-woman race up front, 30 seconds clear.
I think it's a matter of not if, but when Shelby Anderson takes that very first victory.
Polaris winners interview up now with Laurette Nickel.
In one of possibly the closest finishes that we've ever seen in HayDays history, Shelby Anderson and Sarah Price right next to me. Ladies, awesome job. Shelby, from your vantage point, what did you experience?
Probably one of the closest races I've had in a really long time, but it's always great clean battles when I'm out here with Sarah, and it's just such a cool 50th anniversary out here at HayDays. So awesome that both of us are back on the podium together for the second year in a row.
So jumping out in the lead, did you know that you had to worry about Sarah behind you?
I knew she would definitely be coming from the second row, and just tried to get the whole shot, and then second or third lap I blew my right rear axle, so it's hard making any of the right-hand turns. I was struggling hard, and I know Sarah broke some stuff too, so we were both just the struggling cars trying to make it to the end, but we did, and we're both up on the podium again, and it's awesome being up here with Sarah.
Shelby, thank you so much. Congratulations. And Sarah, maybe Shelby just gave away a little bit of the story. You were struggling out there. What was going on?
Yeah, going into the first lap, there was some bumping, and so I broke something in my front end, I believe, but whenever I go off a jump, it go a little sideways. But I was like, man, am I broken? How broken am I? And so I just kept going and rode a good race, and man, it was neck and neck to the last corner with Shelby. And like I said, coming into this, everyone stepped up their game, they're practicing and they're training, and Shelby was on me last year, so I got to look out for her.
Were you able to meet the expectations that you set for yourself in this race?
Definitely. I more than met them, Coming off of all the wins last year, it's hard to keep doing that, So staying on top is a lot harder, I think, than just going out there and winning. So I haven't had much time in these cars since last year, so I'm pretty pumped to be where I am right now. I can honestly say that with so little time in the car.
Sarah, congratulations. Shelby, thank you.
Sarah Price stomps a hole in the bottom of her Razor on the throttle side and continues her dominance in the fly racing pro women's class. Back-to-back victories has her with a 6-point advantage.
Only 6 points, not much to overcome for Shelby Anderson. We've seen her speed, and she's going to be all over the rear bumper of Sarah Price the rest of this 2016 Terracross season.
Price, Anderson, Van Vught are going to head right back to the starting line. Mystic Shootout, the men, the celebs, the women, looking to take out the guys.
The women and the men, the fact that we're in different classes doesn't matter. Our speed's still the same. We're all on the same playing field. There's no difference between a man and a woman in this sport. When you put a helmet on, you're a racer.
And I know some of the guys out here are even saying, hey, look, you guys shouldn't be in that class. You should be running with us. We should all just race together and just have a pro class to show that we're actually competitive. We're competitive with the top guys in UTVs. We're still girls, okay?
Maybe the guys take selfies too. We don't know. More racing action to come, but also Levi LaValle with a special treat for the folks at HayDays.
Pulling a 200-foot jump out of his back pocket later today. One of the most decorated snowmobile riders of all time. Gonna do it to it at HayDays.
HayDays was looking to do something big for the 50th anniversary, and I said, I think I've got just the thing. We could do a sweet distance jump. So we came down, kind of measured the area, saw what kind of space we had, and we crammed a distance jump, an over 200-foot jump into the area here, and it's like almost perfect for it. It's a little snug run in, and it's a little bit tight on the exit, but if all goes well, it should be a smooth jump. It'll be the longest jump that's ever happened at HayDays for sure.
Levi LaValle about to huck it. Welcome back to the Mystic Terracross Championship Levi LaValle Spectacular. It's held at HayDays, which is, Jim Beaver, the end of summer, but just the beginning for the folks in northern Minnesota.
The white stuff going to be coming down in Minnesota shortly. HayDays, the kickoff to snow season.
HayDays, this place is amazing.
It gets bigger and bigger. This is the 50th anniversary here.
It is where everyone in the snowmobile industry, from the manufacturers to the aftermarket, come for the kickoff of the snow season.
Basically, it's a snowmobile swap meet. Anything you could think of you want, go rummage around through the fields and you'll find it.
And it's just a fun place to kind of come and hang out with people that are just as passionate about all things you are.
Everyone's here. All the big companies have all their new product. This is the place to come if you want to see new stuff, exciting stuff, and even the weird stuff.
If you're looking for anything that has to do with snowmobiling, I mean anything, you can find it. From brand new to back to classic stuff and parts and pieces. I look at stuff and I think, what is that? Then the next guy comes along and he knows exactly what it is.
Anything guy. If it's guy related, you can find it out here. It's awesome.
What started as a simple drag race event has turned into so much more, a motorsports festival.
Speaking of a festival, we got a festival of racers out on track. Men, women, celebrities, all going to do battle here at HayDays.
The Mystic Shootout, Cody Raiders, Alpine, California. He's up front, one of the young talents in the motorsports world. Inside of him, Sarah Price. Do the women best the men? Remember, Jolene Van Vught was tops in 6th during the last in the inaugural Mystic Shootout. One of the course builders, Dana Creech.
Dana, always dangerous, one of the course builders, always tends to have a little bit of an edge, knows the inside and outs of these Terracross tracks. There's backcountry Chris Barrant coming over from the snowmobile side of things, doing battle in some razors. Shelby Anderson there. She's in a pretty darn good spot there on row number 2.
GBC Mystics Jason Luberg, defending champ, current points leader. Inside of him, Blake Bilko Williams in the MotoShield Pro 22. And on the inside, Haley Deegan in the 538 Odyssey Batteries ride. Behind her, the 525, Jamie Luberg, sister to Jason, followed by Dave Elia. Let's throw it down to Lorette.
With a win in the celebrity class, Cody Cam, you're on the outside. How crucial is that whole shot?
First time I've been front row all day, so I'm actually really excited about this and shouldn't be too bad on the outside out here, and looking for to come out of the first turn and top 3 at least.
You ready to fight?
Oh yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Cody, best of luck. We're moving over here to Cody Raiders. And Cody, thanks so much for opening the door. Cody, what is your game plan and how do you execute that?
Race Sarah Price, not run into her, and hopefully she didn't run into me, and have a good race and just have a fun time and just burn some laps out.
Okay, great job. Good luck. We'll move over to Sarah Price. Sarah Price on the inside line. What is your game plan and how do you put that into place?
Well, my fast buddy Cody Raiders over here is he's no bone to pick with, so I'm going to just do my best, and I have the inside line, which is the best line, I would say, so just hug it and do my best, go as fast as I can, and yeah, have fun. I'm excited.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
PureTech's Cody Cam doesn't have any tear-offs on. We'll see how that works out for him as we look at our Optimus starters starting grid. Blake Bilko Williams with a little bit of work to do in the back. Mickey Thomas, can he come from the back of the field in the 44?
The General Brian Deegan all the way at the back as well. Man, this is a heck of a shootout. But to Sarah Price, pole position, front row, I think that's who everyone's worried about.
Team UFD, Sarah Price, looking to put a hurting on the boys. Mystic Shootout, round 2, underway.
Cody Raiders, Sarah Price bumping wheels right off the start. Sarah with a hole shot. Looks like Cody Raiders there in second as they head into those Fox Proving Grounds.
Fox Proving Grounds, a little bit of banging through there. It was Cody Raiders in that Fox Polaris ride coming up on the inside. He looks to be in second. Mystic Mangler. Oh, it gets somebody right away.
Backflip. Oh my gosh. We got pile up in the bottom of the Mystic Mangler.
carnage. Looking like the major freeway.
This Mangler is mangling these Razors this year. Wow.
I don't know if they have traffic in the Minneapolis area. There is certainly traffic here in North Branch, Minnesota in Terracross.
It looks like Haley Deegan there in the bottom. This Mangler sure hasn't treated Haley Deegan very well this weekend.
Coming out of the Fox Proving Grounds, everybody's tight. This first lap tough in all of motorsports.
13 Razors on the grid at the same time, all bunched together, makes it tough. Looks like Cody Rader's just checking up a bit and causing a lot of Razors to get collected in the aftermath.
Second look at it, keep an eye right there on the Fox Shocks 16.
It's like Chris Brandt tapping the back of Cody Rader, sending him over, collects Haley Deegan with him. Haley not having any luck in this Mystic Mangler this year.
The red flag has been waved. We will re-rack them and start again. The Mystic Shootout already providing fast, furious, wheel-to-wheel racing action at Terracross. For more information about Terracross, go to terracrossracing.com. Results, driver profiles, and more. Mystic Terracross Championship, Levi LaValle Spectacular from HayDays, North Branch, Minnesota. Last race at HayDays, and it was off to a quick start, and we're right back to the start again, Jim Beaver.
No laps complete out here at HayDays. The Mystic Mangler collecting a couple of Polaris Razors. It's a full restart.
Living up to its name, and no one more unhappy about this than the 78 of Sarah Price, who was off to that hole shot, only to watch second place Raiders cause this. Oh, it's a bad feeling.
And over Chris Brandt collecting Haley Deegan. Couple of Razors. There's Mickey Thomas getting by. But hey, man, we're starting this whole thing over.
Mystic Shootout. Race number 2, restart number 1. 78 of Sarah Price again hooking up off the start.
Looks like Sarah with the hole shot once again. Got the Fox Proving Grounds and then the Mystic Mangler. Let's see if they can all get through clean.
Looking like a replay. Raiders in second. Does he punch it this time over the Mangler? Oh, he nearly gets a hold of Sarah Price, who continues to lead with those outside lines.
Sarah quick around the outside. One of the only drivers using that line when they're up front. She's making it work for her. Look at that, already pulling over a second lead over Cody Raiders.
Walker Evans whoops Cody Raiders. You can see him pressing hard on it. Now Price stalls in the corner. Raiders locked up behind her. Little brake check. That was a long brake check.
Wow, enough for everybody to get bunched up once again. Whoa, got a Razor coming up short, another one coming up short.
Elia
banging. Wow.
That's Dave Elia along with Haley Deegan collected over the double-triple.
Man, tough for Haley Deegan. She's been one of the fastest drivers out here out of all the men, women, and celebrities. She's just getting collected up in these messes.
Razor XP 1000 starting to spread out just a bit. Cody Raiders, Fox Polaris, XP 1000 chasing Sarah Price in her Team UFD ride.
Cody Raiders and Sarah Price's boyfriend James Hill, actually close friends and teammates out in the desert. I know they share strategies right now. No strategies are being shared.
Luberg with a little bit of a move on board now. He pulls inside Anderson. Give a little look back. See you later.
Luberg so fast.
He moves into third, right behind Raiders. So Raiders, while he is chasing, he may be forced to deal with a little bit of traffic shortly. Here's Shelby Anderson. So sixth place, the top woman in the first Mystic Shootout. This time, women in first and fourth.
And looking at this top four, Sarah Price, Cody Raiders, Luberg, and Shelby Anderson, four of the fastest drivers, all sitting 1 through 4. The rest of the field has to be nervous at this point.
Luberg taking some of those outside lines, digging in those GBC mongrels. Up the inside, Raiders. Oh, he's got a little bit of action for Price.
Man, putting a tire onto her door. Whoa, up and over Cody Raiders. throwing it away there on the Fox Proving Grounds. The Fox Proving Grounds collecting the Fox Razor. I'm sure that's not what they wanted.
That was not in the sponsorship packet. Sarah Price with a little bit of breathing room because of this incident here. Jumping down, coming up. Fox Proving Grounds.
Cody Rader's just coming in a little too hot, hooking the rut up over on its side. Doesn't look like any damage done to that Polaris Razor. They'll get him pushed over, but man, throwing away a podium there.
The beneficiary is Jason Luberg, along with Shelby Anderson, who moves into third. Dana Creech, you saw right behind her. Up front, Team UFD, Sarah Price. Walker Evans whoops, no problem.
Look who slides into that fourth spot, Dana Creech. Deadly out here in a Razor, one of the quickest male drivers.
That's the second time now Sarah Price has kind of stalled at the end of the Walker Evans whoops, and now Luberg has closed up.
Gotta wonder if maybe Sarah's having some kind of problem with that Polaris Razor. Tell you what, with Jason Luberg in your rearview mirror, you don't want to have any problems. Sarah gonna have her hands full here in a second.
That's the biggest problem of all. The two-time champ breathing down your neck as he stalls out just a little bit and pulls off.
Wow, Jason Luberg with that red #1 plate pulling off to the side. Sarah Price, that is definitely what she was looking for. Shelby Anderson takes over that podium spot, or that second spot, 6 seconds back. But look at this, ladies 1 and 2 in this shootout.
Solid lead. Shelby Anderson in second. Dana Creech trying to apply a little bit of pressure there. Just the second time we've run the Mystic Shootout, and Sarah Price continues to show her racing acumen. The women's champ putting it to the men. Mystic Shootout concludes next. Factors for unpredictability in racing: open wheel, dirt, and jumps. Throw them all together, you get the Mystic Terracross Championship. Mystic Shootout happening right now. The pro men, the pro women, the Celeb X racers all duking it out. It has been the women who have been dominant in the second event. Kevin Barnett alongside Jim Beaver as we go on board. Moto Shield Pro on board with Sarah Price.
Sarah Price, solid lead at this point in this shootout with a few laps to go. And
hold it together.
Ladies making a comeback after that first shootout race, sitting 1 and 2. Men, they got their work cut out for them.
That is the 78 of Sarah Price up front. Second and third close. It's a race. Shelby Anderson inside in the 5. On the outside, that's Dana Creech as we go. The Odyssey battery on board with the 52, trying to move up the podium.
Shelby defending on that inside line. Dana Creech taking that Sarah Price line around the outside. Whoa! Shelby cutting off Dana. Dana tucking inside. We got a battle on our hands for second place.
Mickey Thomas, maybe sometimes the best spot to be in is fourth when there's a battle in front of you.
Mickey Thomas watching that happen and unfold in front of him. He's loving life right now. Anytime they're banging doors, that means Mickey Thomas is making up time.
Inside goes Creech. He takes over the second spot.
Dana getting up on 2 wheels a bit. Shelby trying to tuck back in. Looks like Sarah Price getting into some lap traffic. Whoa! We got Haley Deegan. Looks like a problem with her Razor.
Haley Deegan is a lap racer. She's back, not a factor for the podium. Sarah Price closing in on a Mystic Shootout win. 2 to go. Kat Ziegler's Dana Creech into the Walker Evans whoops. He can see the leader. How important is it if you can see the person you're chasing?
When you can see the person you're chasing, you can see the lines they're taking. And generally, when you're in that chase spot, you want to take a little bit different line, try and make up time. You kind of like, they get to dictate the race, and you're generally taking the opposite line of the leader.
Haley Deegan dictating the Fox Proving Grounds, holding up that outside line. You have to go inside. Mystic Mangler, no problem for Sarah Price. Right-hand turn, white flag, 1 lap away.
We can see some history being made here in this Mystic Shootout. 1 to go, Sarah Price leading. The ladies may top the win in this second ever shootout.
Former Miss California competitor, laying waste to the men and the women and the celebs in the Mystic Shootout.
Airtime for Sarah Price over that double triple. She's got a couple of the tougher features left. We got this Fox Proving Grounds followed by the Mystic Mangler. Pretty clean air for Sarah Price right now with a couple turns left.
I want to see the talent portion of the competition for Miss California. I want to see a Razor XP 1000 ripping up the stage. There it is, last turn, checkered flag waves, and it's another victory for Price, who just continues to get faster. Creech comes home in second.
Trophy case getting mighty full for Miss Sarah Price the past 2 years in Terracross.
Team UFD's Sarah Price followed closely, but not close enough, by the 52 of Dana Creech in the Ziegler Cat Ride. Back just a few seconds, Shelby Anderson in third. How about that? 6th place, the best finish in the first shootout for a woman. 2 of the 3 podium spots in the second.
Ladies definitely got their redemption. They've been asking for it for years. The women versus the men finally happening out here at HayDays. I think the ladies have proved that they definitely deserve to be on track with the men.
Jolene Van Vught comes in to celebrate. Hugs all around. Dana Creech, second place driver. There's your podium right there celebrating. What a moment for the women.
Dana just shaking his head. He had nothing in the tank for Sarah Price. Sarah just checking out on the field. And the veteran that she is, she never gave him even an opportunity to get close.
Love that from Shelby. We told you we could do it.
Shelby having no idea she was even on the podium, coming up with third. I gotta tell you, man, she's been very impressive this weekend.
That's the focus of a racer right there. Just putting in good laps. A look at our Mystic Shootout standings. Dana Creech takes over that first place spot with his podium finish. What a season it's gonna be, mixing the men, women, and celebrities. Polaris Winners interview with Lorette.
Sarah Price, congratulations. What an intense battle. And you had to fight so hard as your car shut off twice.
Yeah.
What happened?
Oh, I don't know. I seriously just rode my own race, and then I came over the wall, and for some reason it must have like kicked itself out of gear or something. And yeah, twice I had to wait for the clutch to stop spinning and then put it back in gear. And I was like, what in the heck? Oh no. But I cannot believe it. The girls are on the podium with the men. So that just goes to show, like, we're just as competitive, and we're out here, and we're here to stay.
And so happy and overcoming with emotion, really. Tell us why.
Oh, it's so cool, because you know, I wanted to race against the men in Terracross. I wanted to see how the women kind of compared to them, because we haven't had the chance to, and it's so awesome. Like, us girls in the girls class are not slow. Like, I'm telling you, we're racers. When we put that helmet on, it doesn't matter.
Absolutely. Now you get to see how you stack up against the men. Congratulations, Sarah.
Thank you so much.
We know how she stacks up. She's on top of the heap. Let's go to our Polaris Power Performer. It has to be the 78 of Sarah Price, who got the whole shot not once, but twice as we had a red flag restart.
And then led the thing wire to wire. Dropping the hammer, Sarah Price. And now taking it to the men. She's 8 for 8 in the female races.
1 for 2 in the Mystic Shootout. Price and the checkers go together well.
Smiles for miles underneath that helmet.
An incredible race, and Dana Creech got second, but we have to talk about Sarah Price. What did you see her put down on this racetrack?
Man, I didn't even see Sarah till about the second to last lap. I was in traffic, and I was pretty much just looking at Shelby the whole time, trying to get by her. Those girls were shredding today, yeah. Sarah got out there and just took off, it looked like. I really didn't know that we were that far up. I knew we passed a lot of people, but we're stoked, I think. That was an awesome race. Hands down, the girls kicked butt today. Good job. They should be in our class.
Absolutely, I agree with that. And Shelby, an incredible performance put down by you. Did you meet your expectations?
I more than met my expectations. Racing against the guys is something that I know me and Sarah have been wanting to do since last year. And the fact that we got to come out here and Joe gave us this opportunity, it means so much. And we actually got both girls on the podium. So it's awesome seeing that and showing everybody that girls can beat the guys at what they do.
Absolutely. Shelby, great job.
Thank you.
We've seen some big air on track, but nothing compared to what we have next. Levi LaValle and his Polaris snowmobile fly through the sky.
The 2016 Terracross Championship on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Polaris Razor. By Mystic Lubricants, the official racing lubricant of Terracross. Learn more at mysticlubes.com. And by Open Trail.
Snow Baron Snowmobile Club celebrating the 50th anniversary of HayDays and bringing back a local legend for a little something special.
Levi LaValle attempting to go 200 feet here at the 50th anniversary of HayDays, and on dirt no less. Leave the snow for the wintertime. We're jumping snowmobiles on the dirt today.
HayDays has a special place with me. You know, I've been coming here for over 25 years. You know, we got my first snowmobile here when I was just a young child, and to have HayDays, you know, approach me about coming and doing a jump for their huge celebration for the 50th. I mean, what an honor, you know. So I'm really honored to be here and be able to do this jump for them, and hopefully everything goes smooth and we can really celebrate their 50th with a bang. We're kind of scrambling to get enough speed, and we don't have an overabundance of run out, so that's what makes this one extra tricky. Is you really got to pinpoint, you really got to nail your start and hit that ramp as fast as you can. And if you go too far, then all of a sudden you get into the next problem, which is shutting it down before the fence. So it's a little bit of a hurdle there, but I think you know, we've done a lot of testing, a lot of practice, and I think we're going to do everything pretty smooth.
Levi getting his Polaris machine ready. What's he doing right now?
Getting the heat into this Polaris snowmobile. Needs to get this thing at optimal temperature. He's got a very small window with the way this jump is laid out. He has to hit the exact speed to clear the gap. It's not a matter of hitting it with too much speed, it's hitting it with too little. He literally has to be on the gas 100% to kick things off to actually be able to make this gap.
LaValle backed up every inch of that runway in use. Here he comes, 200 feet from tip to tail. Perfection!
Stomps it. You see, he got a little whip style in the air at 200 feet. Only Levi LaValle.
Absolutely remarkable. The world record holder at 412. That's just a little bit of a bunny jump for him.
Levi jumps 200 feet for breakfast.
Mentioned how critical it was. Picture perfect on the takeoff.
Looks like mid-air, the wind, big crosswind, getting him a little sideways, but the veteran able to bring it back and stomp the landing.
Fortunately, on the jump, everything went pretty good. You know, we were struggling early on. All the last couple days of speed testing, we were down on speed, and literally just before, you know, when they did the final layout on turf, they built up the back of it a little bit, and I just rolled the dice and hoped that it was enough. And sure enough, it was just enough to get us over that 200-foot mark. And you know, we were super excited about it. So, considering all of the adversity, all the things, all the emotions that went into the last 2 days of getting ready on site, you know, to land on the other side was, well, it was perfect. I was so pumped.
Launching Levi LaValle over 200 feet. One more time, HayDays. Show some love right here for Levi LaValle.
LaValle thrills the crowd. Sarah Price wins the day.
Sarah Price making history. First woman ever to take the Mystic Shootout victory and keeps her perfect streak alive, 8 for 8 in women's division racing in Terracross.
For Jim Beaver and Laurette Nickel, I'm Kevin Barnett saying goodbye from HayDays. Terracross has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.